Okay, so the so what we're going to be using this is we're going to be using this as a communication tool with us outside of class and even inside of class. And so when I have announcements or I have things that I want to bring to your attention, or you guys want to have a question that will benefit the group, you want to do it. Now Google Plus just last year introduced this concept of communities. Okay, so you have your profile and you can add other friends and circles, and that used to be kind of a pain to teach students right off the bat and all that because they weren't accustomed to it. So communities have been an educator's blessing, because what I can do is get you into the community, and what we end up with then is we end up with a closed environment that we're only in. So our community is called IT Networking Accelerated Program Fall 2013. If you'll notice, it's private. So when I click on here, this is a community where if you post to it, it will only go to the members of the community. Okay? So you don't have to worry about circles. You don't have to worry. Once you're part of the community, it's a internal group within Google Plus that's limited just to us. Okay? So if you wanted to bring something to somebody's attention on the public, you can still post it public, and I'll show you this, but you can also post it in the community. So I'll show you that in a second. So the community is where, and I have categories set up for Cisco, for the A+, Network Plus, the classes you're taking, for the orientation, off-topic events, and then you'll notice here are the members. So here's Pat, and he's not here today, but he lives in infamy on Google+. Here's Lane, here I am. Brian is our VCP guy, he's here, and we've already seen some avatars and pictures of here. The first thing that I will ask you, and hopefully you can do this week, is I know a lot of you, you just went through and created your profile. Add a picture, okay? You know how much that helps with communication? Because what you end up doing is you end up starting recognizing the picture and the person, and in regards to making things efficient for communication. So I don't care about anything else with your profile, but I would like to see an avatar or picture in there. Okay, it makes communication easier. So to post within the community, all I do is click on here. I choose the appropriate category that I want to post in, and I start writing. If I want to add a photo, I can add a photo from my desktop or from my Google Plus photos, right? I can add a link here. Again, if you found an interesting article or something, a job or something that might be pertinent, you could post a link. Video, they push you to YouTube videos, obviously. So it's YouTube video. So like when I post this to YouTube, I'll publish it here and post it to my YouTube video. What you'll also notice is you can even record a video here if you wanted to, and ask a question or make a comment or scream out in agony 5 weeks in, whatever you choose to end up doing. So it's a very versatile place to publish. Again, etiquette in this type of community is to make sure you pick the category that it corresponds to of whatever you're doing. It just makes it easier, because really this ends up being one stream. But if I just want to concentrate on Cisco One people and what comments they're making, they're doing it. Now the important thing about communities is that, again, it's isolated. But let's say I wanted to post something to everybody beside even on the community. So I'm just going to type in test, and I post it here, and it would be within the community. Actually, I'm doing it wrong. It would be within the community only. But if I went to my profile, my home profile, so here's my home profile, and say I wanted to post it, what you'll notice here is I have the ability to post it to Milwaukee Area Technical College. I have the ability, it's not working for me, here it is. I have the ability then also to post it to my communities also. The other big thing of note is that if you want to call a post to somebody's attention, okay, so for example, in Facebook, you type their name and it pops up and you're mentioning them or basically tagging them. The same thing applies in the community. So what I would do is if I was in the community and I wanted to make sure that somebody, like I saw it, I would do a plus, plus sign. Oops. Actually, I'll do. I don't know why it's not popping up, but it should pop up with his little. There it is. There's no space. So if I want to call this post attention to Pat, I would put that plus sign in his name and you would see it pop up. Okay? Now, what that does is that creates a notification. And that's the other thing that you're going to want to go and look at this week. So there's a little bell up here, notifications. And what you'll see is John posted, there was a little one on it. John posted something, right? And when I click on it, I go direct to his post. The other cool thing is I can open up a whole new tab just with notifications in here. Okay? Just with my notifications. So I don't have to see everything. I can see anything that I was tagged on or notified. To go in and look at these settings, and I'm going to encourage you to do this. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. But if I go into my account, and we just saw me do it, I go into my account profile, right here under up account. That opens up this page. And then what I want to do is go to my Google Plus page. And what you'll know is that it gives me a lot of different settings, right? Who I can hang out with. But the big one is notification delivery, okay? So you can add a phone number if you want to be texted and notified when somebody's putting something in. You can be emailed. And when you get emailed, what you'll see is that you can actually respond and do everything with that within an email. So like if I posted something and you have notifications that it all comes to your email account, it would come to your email account as a post, and then you would just, if you wanted to reply to it, which is basically a comment, you could do that right within Gmail. You can even +1 it and send it, and it would go back into the community. So again, depending on how you work, you don't even necessarily have to come to the community. You can come to use your email. What you'll notice is I have all of it set on, right? So like for you guys, for people in my communities and things like that, and people who +1 me, this is the first. I don't even have my settings set up the way I want them set up in here yet, because we used to be using my old domain. So I'm going to go in here and change things so that what I like happening is when you guys post something, it pops up on my phone, and then I can see it and I can respond to it if it's immediately. What you're going to find is that the technology of using this basically makes me accessible 24/7, because I either have a phone on me, I'm either in front of a computer, or I have a tablet in my hand. So plus you can text me, SMS me if you want to. So, and I'll go and through all that next week. But it makes me pretty accessible. Lane and Pat aren't as crazy as I am, I want to say, mentally ill as I am sometimes. But you're going to see that's the case. So what I want you to do is go through those settings and take a look at them, play around with them, figure out how you want to be notified. And again, this isn't something that you're going to learn overnight. It's something as we use it more and more frequently. For now, if you can just access the community and the page, you're okay. And if you said to yourself, I'm just going to check that once a day and see what notifications and posts I have, for now, that would probably be appropriate. Now again, for you guys, the offline communication is, I won't say less important, but it's not as mandatory as it is like when I'm dealing with online students, right? Because if you have a question, it's probably not going to be earth-shattering, and if you ask me on a Monday night. But what's nice about posting it is even then people, as a reminder or something we want to discuss, or I might even say, you post something and I say, okay, make sure to bring this up on Monday night, I want to discuss it, or something like that. So it's just a good place for that kind of stuff to happen. So any questions on Google Plus? Everybody's in it. Play around with it. Play around with the notifications. Take a look around. Don't be afraid to putz and play with things. And you'll get more and more accustomed to it. Really, my personal, like for Lane, you probably won't be using it much. But the reason I emphasize it now is because when the summer comes, this will be it, right? You'll be an online group, And so we'll be using this heavily in the summer for communication questions and things like that. And Pat is well versed. Pat uses it, as much as I do. So we're going to be the summer instructors. Okay, the other thing about Google is that I don't ever want to see a Word document. Okay? I don't ever want to see a Word. I don't ever want to be emailed an attachment with a Word document in it. I still get email attachments from administration and everything in Word format, but I don't want to be sent that. What you're going to be using and what you're going to start using as you move through the semester in order to create documents, presentations, a spreadsheet, which you're not going to have to create these spreadsheets. You're going to be using Google Docs. And Google Docs now is incorporated in Google Drive. And Google Drive basically is a cloud storage platform. Okay? So, for example, what you'll notice is I have a bunch of stuff here. Now, again, I've made the transition or making the transition from Tony at IT and MATC to Stannis AJ. To be honest with you, I'm still thinking about just keeping everything in Tony at IT and MATC. So I don't have very much in here because it hasn't been my primary place for Google Docs. It's been my old domain, the domain that I ran before we went to Gmail. But what you'll notice is here is I have the ability to upload a file or folder. So it's just cloud storage. PDF, picture, video, MP3, whatever you want. I believe it's 2 gigabytes in size. Yeah, 2 gigs in size. You guys have, for free, 25 gigs of storage for Google. And you can always purchase more, although I wouldn't do it on the MATC account. I would do it on, eventually, if you choose to do it on your personal account, or if you take IT 107 or whatever. So that's just cloud storage. Okay. So when you go in there, you can upload. So if you have a PDF or you have whatever, you can do that. You can also then hit the create button, and the create button are the apps. So for the big one, the big two that you guys probably will use this semester, and actually will be presentation, which is equal to PowerPoint, and document, which is equal to Word. Okay. Now I'm going to show you, again, this is down and dirty. I'm going to encourage you to play with this. It's going to be stuff that we're going to continually to talk about as we move through the semester. So it's not like it's something that I'm going to expect you to know next week. But again, I've kind of given you the ultimatum that I don't want to see a Word document. So you're going to have to learn it. But I'm just going to go through kind of a quick demo and show you the coolness factor in it. Okay. So here's my Google Doc. Okay. And here's how I create it. Test doc. Right? So I'm creating a test doc. There's the name. And then what you'll notice is a lot of the same stuff here. I mean, this is not any different than all the same Word stuff. And for a document, for what most people do in college with a document, all the tools that you would need are available in Google Docs. Now, if you need to do a mail merge or, something that you use once every time, or there's, obviously Office is just a bloated, huge piece of, I don't want to say malware, but I shouldn't say that. The thing is that for everything that we do as a normal college, this is going to be sufficient. But here's the cool thing. Okay, so here is the cool factor. Now I'm going to use Armando because he's seen this before and he knows it. But I'm going to go up here, and right now this document just exists on my drive and it's theirs. And I'm going to want you to click on it and log in and edit it. So, and I click on the share button here. Okay. So here's the share button, and right now I am the owner of this Google document. The access to it is private. Okay. But I'm going to change that. I'm going to say anyone with link. Now there's a couple settings here. The settings that you'll mostly end up using would be private, meaning nobody else has access to it, anyone with link, or public on the web. The big difference between anyone with link and public on the web is public on the web turns it into a web page that the web bots look for. It's searchable, basically. So Google will find it, and it'd be just like a web page. They could search for it, and people could find it. Anyone with link, basically, it's not searchable. The person has to have this link in order to access it. So for the most part, unless you were, my NSA jokes are not going to work anymore this semester. But I mean, the reality is, well, the NSA can find it, I'm sure. But normal people, it's not going to be out there and searchable. Nobody's going to be able to find it without link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say anyone with link can edit this document, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to send it to Armando. Oh, yeah. And I want to send it to this one, right? Do you have that open? Okay, so I'm going to send it to him. And I've now said that. Why do I keep calling you Armando?
It's okay.
Sorry, Armand.
It's
It's been in my head that way now, so now it's going to be hard to do it. So it's still a cool name. Maybe it's Lulu. Maybe it's your last name. I'm thinking the O is. Okay. I don't feel bad when I mispronounce my names. You should hear people try to pronounce my name. Okay, so I'm going to share and save, and I'm going to notify him email that I'm sharing this document. So I just sent it to him, and he's going to get an email with it, and he's going to click on it. Yep. And he's going to pull it up, and there he is. And there he is. Okay? So there he goes. Okay? Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But the ability to share and collaborate in Google on any of their applications is huge. Okay? The ability to turn something into a web page automatically and have it on the web all of a sudden is huge. What we just did here can be done with presentations. It can be all done the same. The other thing is when you start working with this, there's all revisions kept, meaning I know if I came back to this document that he made the revision, there would be a revision list under history. I always forget where it is. See, my students are now outperforming me. That's what a summer does. I taught him well. Well, anyways, I don't want to get stuck in the minutia stuff of it, but there are revisions kept. There's also the ability to leave comments. So I can add a comment to the document. So without making the edit, I can make a comment on the document that then are available for whoever I'm collaborating with to see, right? Or if there's a problem where I need something resolved or whatever it may be. This actually has changed since last semester. Yeah, here we go. So here's my revision history. Shows me all my revisions. Okay? So that's kind of just a really quick, down and dirty demo of what's possible with Google Docs and what you can do with it. So the other cool thing is that when I share, so I said anyone with link, if I copy that and I go into the community, right? I can share that document. And there it shows up. All right? So I'm just going to post that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to anyone with link can edit. Now, if you go into your Google Plus and you click on that document, you should be able to edit it too. Okay? So you can give it a whirl if you want to. I'll just leave it out there. But you should be able to click on it and add, and I should be able to see what you're adding, etc. I hate this resolution, but... And you'll start seeing each other on it. And there you go. And that's because I gave everybody who has the link can edit it. I could be more permission oriented and say only you or you or you have the permission to do it. Okay? So as we move forward this week, what I want you to do is explore this and you kind of putz with it and take a look at it. And then the other thing which you'll notice is that in the community, I have a presentation slide that now if you're part of the community, you should be able to click on. Yeah. You should be able to click on, and I have it again that anybody, oops, I'm going to have to, yeah, anyone with the link can edit. So when you click on that link, one of your assignments this week, and this is the reason I kind of, didn't do the icebreakers, is I made this little slide. What you're going to do is you're going to add another slide, and you're going to do your little story too on that slide. So when we come back next week, we'll have hopefully, at least you guys, 9, and then hopefully maybe some of the people adding their slides with their little story. So again, if right now the only important thing is that you can click on it and click on the link and have access to it. And again, don't delete my slide because you could delete my slide. Just go up here, this little box, and you can add a slide tile. And you can always delete your own slide, or it can just be blank. You're probably going to want to use at least title and body. I use title in 2 columns for mine. And just kind of, again, this doesn't have to be anything, just tell, if you read mine, I want to see the slide. If you see the slide, just open mine. Right? There's a couple things on here. I might, some information, some fun stuff, and Tony, and my Vine video. You can listen to it when you get home. Kind of weather obsessed. All right. So check it out, and then just create a slide for yourself. Add a picture to play around. You'll see that it's really easy. And I just want to get you just to try it. It doesn't have to be anything, masterpiece or anything like that. But then that's the stuff that we can share next week when we come back. Okay? So I'm actually going to end this.